Compounding in trading doesn't work like compounding in a savings account. A savings account pays interest on a stable base that only goes up. Trading compounds on a volatile base that moves up and down, and that difference changes everything. Because when your account drops 20%, you're not compounding anymore. You're rebuilding, and rebuilding takes time you can't get back. This is why the compound projections you see online are fantasy. They assume consistent gains with no drawdowns. But trading doesn't work that way. And if you plan for fantasy returns, you'll quit when reality doesn't match. Here's what realistic compounding looks like. Professional traders and hedge funds target 10 to 20% annually, not monthly, annually. That sounds low compared to the 100% monthly returns you see advertised. But it's sustainable. It accounts for drawdowns. It accounts for variance. It accounts for the fact that not every month is profitable. 10% a year doesn't sound exciting, but over 10 years, it turns 10,000 into 26,000. Over 20 years, 67,000. That's real compounding, slow, steady, unsexy. But it works because it survives. Now compare that to the fantasy. Target 10% per month. By month 12, you're at 31,000. By year 2, 96,000. By year 3, 300,000. The projection makes it look inevitable, but it's not. Because it assumes you never lose. It assumes you hit 10% every month without a drawdown. And that never happens. Not in year 1. Not in year 10. Not ever. Here's the reality. You target 10% monthly. You hit it 3 months in a row. Month 4, you lose 5%. Month 5, you make 8. Month 6, you lose 3. You made 30% in 6 months. But you're already behind the fantasy projection. Add a bad quarter, and the compounding stalls completely. You're not on track for 300,000 in 3 years. You're on track for 20 or 30,000, and that's still good. But it's not what the projection promised. The other thing that kills compounding is drawdowns. You grow your account from 10,000 to 15,000. Solid year. Then you hit a drawdown. You lose 20%. Now you're at 12,000. You didn't just lose 3,000. You lost a year of growth. And now you need 25% just to get back to 15. That's not compounding. That's damage control. And until you recover, you're not building wealth. You're repairing it. This is why capital preservation matters more than chasing returns. Every big drawdown erases months or years of compounding, and you can't get that time back. So what's realistic? 2% per month is aggressive but achievable. Over a year, that's 26%. That turns 10,000 into 12,800. Not life-changing in year 1, but sustainable. If you can do that consistently for 5 years, you're at 32,000. 10 years, 84,000. 20 years, 700,000. That's real compounding. It takes time. But it's based on returns you can actually achieve without blowing up. The mistake traders make is comparing themselves to the fantasy projections and feeling like failures when they don't hit them. You make 20% in a year and you think you're underperforming because someone online said you should be doubling your account every quarter. But 20% is strong. It's what professionals target. And if you can do that year after year without major drawdowns, you're outperforming most traders who chase unrealistic returns and blow up trying to hit them. Here's the shift. Stop planning for best-case scenarios. Plan for realistic scenarios with drawdowns factored in. If you target 2% monthly and hit it 8 months out of 12, that's a great year. If you have 1 month where you lose 5% and 1 month where you're flat, That's normal. The compounding happens over years, not months, and it only happens if you stay in the game long enough to let it work. Chasing 50 or 100% annual returns gets you killed. Targeting 10 to 20% annually keeps you alive. And staying alive is how you compound. Compounding in trading is real, but it's slow. It requires patience. It requires you to survive drawdowns without giving back all your gains. And it requires realistic expectations. You're not turning 10,000 into 1,000,000 in 2 years. You're turning it into 15 or 20,000 in year 1 if you're good. 30 or 40,000 in year 3. Maybe 100,000 in year 10 if you're consistent and you don't blow up. That's the reality. Not sexy, not fast, but achievable. And achievable beats fantasy every time. Because fantasy quits when reality doesn't match. Reality keeps going, and compounding only works if you keep going.